Hello, once again welcome to this channel. Today we are going to discuss about thermocouple. So what is a thermocouple? A thermocouple consists of a pair of dissimilar conductors welded or fused together at one end to form the hot or measuring junction with the other end available for connection to the cold or reference junction. So, thermocouple is nothing but consists of welding two dissimilar metals together to form two junctions. That is, one junction is a hot junction to measure the temperature, and the other junction is called a reference junction, or it is a cold junction. So with respect to the temperature difference between these two junctions, some EMF will be produced, and that EMF is measured by the thermocouple devices. So thermocouple can be defined as a kind of temperature sensor that is used to measure the temperature at one specific point in the form of the EMF or an electric current. So thermocouple is nothing but it is a temperature sensor used to measure the temperature at one specific point in the form of the EMF or an electric current. Or a thermocouple is a thermoelectric device that converts thermal hot or measuring junction energy into electrical energy. Thermally hot or measuring junction energy into electrical energy. And the thermocouples are used as a primary transducer for measurement of temperature, converting temperature changes directly into the EMF. So this is the definition for the thermocouple. Thermocouple is a kind of temperature sensor that is used to measure the temperature at one specific point in the form of the EMF or an electric current. So thermocouple working principle. What is the working principle behind the thermocouple? Thermocouple working principle is mainly depends upon the three effects, namely Seebeck, Peltier and Thomson effect. Seebeck effect was discovered by Thomas John Seebeck in 1821, and Peltier effect was discovered by Jean-Claude Peltier in 1824, and Thomson effect was discovered by William Thomson in 1847. And based on these three principles, thermocouples are worked. But among these three principles, the two of them are familiar. That is, Seebeck and Peltier effect will be most commonly used for thermocouple working. So what is a Seebeck effect? Two wires of different metals A and B. Two wires of different metal. One is A, that is copper metal, and the second one is B, are joined together to form two junctions. That is, this is one junction, that is a hot junction, and second junction is a cold junction. If the two junctions are at different temperature, an electric current will be flow around the circuit. So two metals A and B will be connected together to form two junctions, and if two junctions are at different temperature, an electric current will be flow around the junction in such a way that a current will this is called the Seebeck effect. And in metal A is a copper and metal B is a iron, then current will be flow from copper to iron at the hot junction, and from iron to copper at the cold junction. So this is the Seebeck effect. So two dissimilar materials are joined, A and B joined together to form two junctions. And if the junctions are at different temperature, an electric current will flow around the circuit, and this is called Seebeck effect. And second one is called Peltier effect. So this is the reverse phenomena for the Seebeck effect. Here, if an external source of EMF is connected, a current forced to flow the junctions. And it is observed that heat is absorbed when the current flow across the iron copper junction. Heat is absorbed when the current flow across iron copper junction. That is here. And it is liberated from iron copper junction from copper to iron, like this, and liberated if the flow of current is reversed. Once it is heat is absorbed, that is two conditions are there. When heat is absorbed when current flow across iron copper junction from copper to iron, and liberated heat if the current will be the reverse direction. If the current is in reverse direction, it will be liberated the heat. So this is the Peltier effect. And the amount of heat liberated or absorbed is proportional to the quantity of electricity that is applied here, quantity of electricity across the junction. And the amount of heat liberated or absorbed when 1 ampere passes for a second is called Peltier coefficient. That is the amount of heat liberated or absorbed when 1 ampere pass for a second is called Peltier effect. And the third one is Thomson effect. So according to Thomson effect, when a current flow through a copper conductor having thermal gradient, here we will be mentioned that is having a thermal gradient along the length of the conductor. Here the thermal gradient is along the length of the conductor, then heat is released at a point. Where current is in the direction same as the heat flow. When the direction of the current and heat flow will be same, then heat is released and heat is absorbed at a point where current flow is in the direction opposite to the flow of heat. So this is Thomson effect. So these are the three effects mainly used for thermocouple. Among these three effects, Seebeck and Peltier effects are most commonly used principle for thermocouple. So this is the basic principle behind the thermocouple. Then construction of thermocouple. The construction of thermocouple is shown below. That is, it comprises of two different metal wire that is connected together at junction end. As I said earlier, here two metal wires are connected at the connected or soldered at 2 points or welded at 2 points. The junction is referred to as measuring or sensing element. Here this is one junction that is measuring or sensing element, and then another junction is here that is connected to some meters. We will see later how it can be calibrated. The end of the junction is classified into three types, namely ungrounded, grounded and the exposed junction. So this end of the copper junction is connected in three types, that is grounded, ungrounded, grounded and exposed junction. Then first one is ungrounded junction. What is an ungrounded junction? In this type of junction, the conductors are totally separated from the protecting cover. Here, this is the protecting cover, insulating cover or protecting cover is outside the cover, and the conductor is totally isolated or separated from the protecting cover. And ungrounded thermocouples are used primarily for isolating the control system. It is used primarily for isolating the control system from the sensor and to prevent ground loop. It is more inaccurate and low response time. The application of this junction mainly include high pressure application work. The main benefits of using this function is to decrease the stray magnetic field effect. So this is the ungrounded junction. So there is no conductor wire is not connected with the sheath or this protecting cover. So, so that it can be, this is decrease the stay or magnetic field effect. So, magnetic field effect will be not affected here, and some internal construction is shown here. And this is the first one, and the second one is a grounded junction. In this type junction, the metal wire as well as protecting cover, this is the metal wire and this is the protecting cover or sheath, are connected together. The couples junctions are welded directly to the inside tip of the sheath. Sheath is nothing but the protecting cover. So it is directly welded to the inside cover of the sheath like this. And the grounded thermocouple temperature sensors are widely used because it offers fast response time, more accurate reading at short distance. So it is mainly used. It is a preferred junction type for high temperature applications. So precautions for ground loop at long distance and low temperature usage. This function is used to measure the temperature in the acidic atmosphere where we are not too closer to it, and it supplies resistance to the noise. So second one is grounded junction, and here the protective wire, metal wire as well as protecting cover are connected together as in the figure. This is the sheath or metal wire is connected to this protective cover or sheath. And the third one is exposed junction. Exposed junction. The junction is directly exposed. Here junction is directly exposed to the metal being heated. Here the junction is exposed directly. Junction for very quickly to the temperature changes. So it is very fast response to the temperature. There is no sheath or insulating to slow down the heat transfer. There is no sheath. As in the early case, there is some sheath will be there or insulating coverage is there. Here, there is no such sheath or insulating cover is there. The exposed junction is applicable in area where a quick response is required. Here, this type of thermocouples will be used where the quick response will be required. This type of junction is used to measure the gas temperature. Metals used to make the thermocouple basically depends upon the calculating range of the temperature. So these are the three types of junctions are there. First one is ungrounded, grounded, and exposed junction. So working of thermocouple, how the thermocouple is working. The circuit of a thermocouple is shown in the figure below. Here are two metals are there. One is iron and one is constant. Iron is copper and constant, or iron or constant. Both are there. Copper is element, is used as an element, and constant is used as an alloy of nickel and copper. Copper is used as an element, and constant is used as an alloy of copper and nickel. These metals are joined together. Here I'll be write iron. It is copper. And here also it is copper. So this is the copper and the constant is there. Copper is a pure element and constant is an alloy of copper and nickel. And these metals are joined together in such a manner that they are creating two junctions. One junction is sensing element, or it is called a measuring point. And the metals are bonded to the junction through welding. And this end it will be connected to some meter, that is V out. V out is equal to Vs minus Vr. And this copper is connected to positive, and this constant is connected to negative. So the difference voltage V0 is equal to Vs minus Vr. Again, let P and Q are the two junctions. That is P and Q will be there. Two temperatures are there, T1 and T2 of the temperature of two junction. As the temperature of the junction different from each other, EMF is generated. If the temperature is different, there is an EMF is generated. Temperature is different, then an EMF is generated in the circuit. If the temperature at junction become equal, both the junction temperature will be equal, then V0 is equal to the difference voltage and V0 is equal to 0 because zero current will be flowing through it. And if the temperature of the junctions become unequal, the potential difference induced in the circuit. The temperature is unequal, then potential difference is induced in the circuit. And the magnitude of the EMF induced in the circuit depends on the type of materials used for making thermocouple. So type of materials, if it is, here I will wrote it is iron, actually it is copper. It is copper, and here it is positive and it is negative. If it is considered copper and constant. So it is depending upon the material, the temperature magnitude of the EMF induced is depending. And the total current flowing through the circuit is measured through the measuring device. Using some measuring device, we can measure the total current flowing through the circuit. So this is the working principle of the thermocouple. And the EMF induced in the thermocouple is given the equation E is equal to A into delta theta plus B into delta theta square, where delta theta is the temperature difference between the hot thermocouple junction and reference thermocouple junction, and A and B are constants. So this is the working principle of thermocouple. What is the principle? That is, two metals, copper and constant, is connected together or welded together to form two junction, and it will be produce a EMF when the there is a difference in temperature will be occur. That is, V0 is equal to Vs minus Vn. Vs is equal to voltage at this point, and here it is positive and this end is negative. And if there is a same voltage, there is no temperature difference, then Vout is equal to 0 as the current flowing through the circuit is 0. So this is the working principle of thermocouple. The measurement of thermocouple output. So thermocouple output can be measured either by using multimeter. It is either by using multimeter, that is one. And the second one, it is by using a potentiometer, or third one by using an amplifier with output device. So multimeter is a simple method of measuring output EMF of thermocouple. Multimeter is connected to the cold junction of the thermocouple, and the deflection of the multimeter point equal to the current flowing through the meter. Or if it is using potentiometer, output of the thermocouple can be measured with the help of DC potentiometer. So by varying the potentiometer range, we can calculate the current. And third type is amplifier with output device. The output obtained from the thermocouple is amplified through the amplifier and then feed to the recording or indicating instrument. In some case, this output voltage is very small, then we can be amplified to produce the reading as a readable or a recording type instrument. So these are the three types we can be measure the output of the thermocouple. So properties of the materials. Which type of materials are used to make the thermocouple? There are some properties will be mentioned here. First, melting point of the thermocouple material must be higher than the measuring temperature. High measuring temperature, its melting point is higher than measuring temperature. Second one is dissimilar metals on joining should able to produce large EMF. Such metals can be used. So we cannot use any type of metals. We can be select this metal in such a way that these dissimilar metals on joining should able to produce a large EMF. That type of metals can be used to produce thermocouples or manufacture thermocouple. And third one, temperature is determined indirectly, that is through calibration of EMF with the temperature. As far as possible, the linear variation of EMF with temperature is desired. This type of material has a linear variation of EMF with temperature is desired. And fourth one, thermocouple materials should be resistant to atmosphere in furnace. Okay, so we will use these thermocouples in different conditions, acidic condition, humidity conditions. So it will have thermocouple materials should be resistant to atmosphere in furnaces. So these are the properties of the material which is used to make the thermocouple. And the advantage of thermocouple. The following are the advantages. First one, thermocouple is cheaper than other temperature measuring devices because we have just want to solder or weld two metals. So it is just cheaper, cheaper than other type of temperature measuring device. And second advantage is has a fast response time. We'll see three type of thermocouple measuring, that is grounded, ungrounded, and exposed type. So by exposure type, we can use the fast response time will be occur there. And third one, it cover wide range of temperature from 270 degree to 2700 degree centigrade. Thermocouple is rigid in construction. And fifth one, using extension lead and compensating cables, long distance transmission of temperature measurement is possible, so that we can measure the temperature in some acidic regions, etc., where we are not able to reach so close to the measuring temperature region. In such cases also we can be used. So these are some advantages for the thermocouple. Usually there is some advantage, then usually they have some disadvantages also. The disadvantages can be listed here. The thermocouple has low accuracy and hence they cannot be used for precision work. We are already see RTD, likewise the thermistors are there. It is more accuracy than this thermocouple. Then recalibration of the thermocouple is difficult, as in the case of other type of temperature measuring sensors. And least stability, low voltage, and reference is required, because there is two junctions are required. That is, one is measured junction and the second one is called reference junction. So there are two junctions required. So reference is required for this one. So these are some disadvantages for the thermocouple. And here I will be mentioning some materials used to alloy, for the alloy materials used for making thermocouple. So advantages and disadvantages are very important as considered as the exam point of view. And the applications will be listed here. It has first one, they are used as a temperature sensor in thermostat in office, home, business applications. And second, they are used in our offices, in our homes and business, like in ovens or in AC, like that. These are used in industries for monitoring temperature of metal in iron, aluminum, and metal. And these are used in food industry for cryogenic and low temperature applications. And the thermocouples are used as a heat pump for performing thermoelectric cooling. And the fourth one, these are used to test temperature in chemical plant, petroleum plants, etc. And the fifth one, these are used in gas machines for distributing the pilot flame. So these are the applications of thermocouple. So we discuss what is a thermocouple, what are the advantages, what is the principle behind it. There are three principles are there. Then we see the different connections of the thermocouple and the working of a thermocouple, advantage, disadvantage, and application. So I think you can follow this class, and thank you for listening me.